This is P.O.C. This is mental illness. All the ways in which a population is stalking and obsessively stalking with light. While the objective of stalking with light are the demon-possessed that are monitoring you. And it's a population that's engaging in that intentionally. They're all driving in impossible light activity. Okay, and it's reaching across. This is my shadow appearing in the shade. They're all driving in it, they're monitoring, they're stalking as a population. 8KSF312 is a demon. Him and the female in the car, they're both demons and they're both stalking. They're also engaging in what is sex offenses as an entity, monitoring genitalia. There is no sun that's going to cause sunlight to appear in the shade like this, but it is for the gang stalking purposes of the masses that are stalking in commercial planes while they're driving in it, while they're making noise in it, while they're creating peculiarized light, flashing light in it, and while they're maintaining traffic, which is surveillance. The entity, this is the same venue. Starbucks, fake sun at 6 o'clock in the morning. Starbucks, fake sun at 7 o'clock in the evening. Starbucks is engaged in gang stalking. That's why the Ontario International Airport is flying over it, around it, next to it. You will prosecute Starbucks. Starbucks represents how you're going to prosecute every business. All I did was go inside of Starbucks and show you how the people of the state are engaged in domestic terrorism with the government. That's what the evidence, speaking to what Starbucks is engaging in, it shows you how all of the people of the state, every business is engaged in targeting American citizens. Those demons happen to be very unintelligent and also desperate. They committed kidnapping. They're going to federal prison. All right, the entities engaged in what is keeping a fake sun. They're driving an engineered light. Here's the fake sun here, and here is inexplicable light in the shade. This is an illusion. Just like the unintelligent illusion of demons driving under a fake sun that rises and sets on one street over one person. Stalking, 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 creating light activity, audible noise, relevant positioning. They're monitoring, systematic monitoring. This is what you're paying attention to in the environment. I'm going to document all these demons and I'm going to prosecute the businesses. And this massive facilitation, the Ontario International Airport is intentionally in this environment, monitoring and facilitating it amongst the demon possessed. And they're maintaining serial flight. That's mental illness. This light activity is letting you know about massive mental illness. These are the demons that were engaged in criminal summoning. They're being disbanded. The kidnappers are going to prison. That's mental illness that's driving a police vehicle. Okay, that's a national security threat. It fills California. This is P.O.C. This is demon possession. Okay, demon possession. They already know. So those are the very mentally ill that engage in conduct. Why would you put yourself in this circumstance? I'm showing you supernatural evidence right here. Nobody's imagining or hallucinating about anything. The entity engages in more of it as you prove what they are. That's the admission of Mike LORENZ. That's the admission of the gang stalking businesses, Leonida Builders Incorporated. The entity is gang stalking using commercial flight, stalking American citizens. Because that's what you're doing in a specific environment. You're stalking. That's what you're doing when you're engaged in what is flying over places that no airport is maintaining any flight. You're stalking. You've just learned that the entity is stalking a specific person, that it intends. That's the purpose. That's the removal of Alan D. Wapner, Michael Gherkin, Mike LORENZ, Paul Leon. That's the removal of the so-called Ontario board. They're nothing other than vagina monitoring terrorists, and they're going to be removed for stalking. Unheard of methods of mentally deranged stalking that is speaking to what is the conspiracy to murder the person that they are targeting under the fake sun, P.O.C. It is currently 7:22 a.m. This is the entity that's gang stalking. Pay attention to they're monitoring. And this is on a massive scale outside the light activity that's happening inside of Ovid Family Community Library, where this fake sun is still on this block. Inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, it's aiming just like this inside of the depths of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is the light activity conduct that you see. All manner of what is impossible light activity, systematic monitoring. They don't do so with vehicles inside of a building. They do so on foot and engineered light. It's the work of Satan and all of Satan's minions. These are demons. It's P.O.C. And I'll attach that video so you can look at it, because this is the tactic and it's very unintelligent. They're creating light activity systematically while every demon crosses paths. This is what they're doing, walking in and out of the entrance, slamming the administrative door inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, walking around with multiple shadows, stalking with light, mentally ill behavior, stalking in planes and helicopters, mentally ill behavior, stalking as a whole police department, mentally ill behavior, stalking as an entire fire department, mentally ill behavior. You are being immediately ripped out of those positions. You will not have a fire department, an airport, or a police department. You're engaged in terrorism. And you conspired murder, and you've been caught, and the whole world is witnessing how you've been caught. That's P.O.C. That is the P.O.C. I just want you to see this. Hold on. The entity is stalking by planes. They just took off behind the chevron. It's not funny, but it's so psychotic, it's so disturbing, and so desperate. I want you to see this. They are stalking. The more that I call them out, the more that they're stalking. And remember, when I'm in this parking lot, they're flying straight over this way right here. They're engaging what is flying relative to where I'm at, and also trying to avoid, you're not avoiding being captured on video. This has nothing to do with what's published on the Ontario International website regarding flights arriving and departing. This is stalking. This is stalking, and you're recognizing stalking under a fake sun. Remember, the fake sun is still here at this chevron at 12 o'clock in the afternoon over La Hermandad. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 7:24 a.m. That's also relevant context regarding what is stalking by engaging in what is U-turns. The Ontario International Airport is not maintaining any flights where they're paying passengers to engage in what is U-turns, tours of the section of the city where they engage in making U-turns over buildings and going back to the airport. This is what the entity is doing over all of my hotel rooms in Ontario. This is what the entity is doing while I am documenting a fake sun at all hours of the day in the city of Ontario. This is P.O.C. This is speaking to what is public corruption. You're going to prosecute for this. And I'm going to, on the podcast, identify license plates 9UQM 597. They're all co-conspirators of murder. That's why the mayor's being removed from office. The millions of people conspiring your murder while they're stalking you. 6YWX243, they're co-conspirators of murder. And they are mentally ill, obsessed with murdering you, obsessed with your genitalia, obsessed with stalking you. That's why they use planes and helicopters to do it. POC.